Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Barker with Rocky Mountain Natural Medicine, and I wanted to make a quick video today about women and anxiety. So I see a lot of women in my practice who come in, they're usually, late 30s, early 40s, even up into 50s, and they say, I just don't feel right, something's off, I feel anxious, I feel unbalanced, I wake up in the morning with anxiety, I've got anxiety the rest of the day, I don't know why, my life is good otherwise. Well, here's how this happens, and it's usually related to a hormone imbalance. So when we are stressed, we start to make a lot of cortisol, and cortisol gets billed as a stress hormone, but it does a lot of other good things in our body. And it comes from our adrenal glands, and your adrenal glands are meant to release cortisol in short bursts. So they're best designed for dealing with acute stress. So how many of you have acute stressors? Well, a lot of us do. But more importantly, how many of us have chronic stressors? So that means just stress all the time, right? You've got kids, you've got a family, you are working, or, there's a lot going on, right? People have a lot of stresses these days. And what that does is it leads to chronic elevations in cortisol. And so that's a good thing. We do want cortisol to help us deal with stress and get through the day. It's actually useful in small amounts. But when your body starts churning out tons and tons and tons of cortisol, there's a little hormonal glitch that happens kind of back up in the hormonal distribution chain. And what happens is that there's a point in that chain where you can make a lot of cortisol or you can make a lot of progesterone. And ideally, you're making a little bit of both of those hormones. Progesterone being one of your main female reproductive hormones. But when we've got a lot of stress and the demand on cortisol is very, very high, what happens to that production of progesterone is it starts to wither away. It becomes very, very low. And then if you couple that with a woman who is in her mid-30s or 40s, that kind of matches the regular reproductive cycle when progesterone begins a very long, slow decline into menopause. So that does not mean that you're about to become menopausal. It's just part of the natural hormonal cycle over a woman's lifespan. So when you've got low natural progesterone going on, and then you're also short-circuiting production with excess cortisol production, you get what I call breakthrough anxiety, because progesterone is your feel-good hormone. It makes your skin nice, it makes your hair nice, and one thing it does is it keeps your brain calm. So there's actually progesterone receptors on every cell of your body. And one area that it really works is keeping you calm and making you sleep well. So you can see why if you've got low progesterone, you're going to start to get a lot of this breakthrough anxiety for seemingly no reason. Couple that again with the excess estrogen that typically goes on, because again, you've got a relative decrease in progesterone, and estrogen levels stay pretty much the same right up until you hit menopause, where they fall off precipitously at that time, and that's usually not until your late 50s for most women. So estrogen, as I like to say, is associated with kind of all the unpleasantries of being a woman. So irritability, moodiness, all the PMS stuff, the bloating, bloating, digestive problems, breast tenderness, all that stuff that's no fun. So you've got a high drive of estrogen that is not balanced by enough progesterone that makes you feel good. Of course, you're going to have a lot of other symptoms, but that is why you feel anxious. So this is not that you need an anti-anxiety medication, is that you need your hormones balanced. So what we do in the clinic is women who come in with, complaining of this type of thing, is one of the first things we'll do is a hormone saliva test, and we'll look at all of the hormones. We look at all the adrenal hormones, and we look at estrogen and progesterone, and sometimes we look at thyroid hormones too in those cases. But regardless, we're going to look at all of your hormones and figure out what's going on, where is that imbalance in there. And when we know this, then we can get to work getting your hormones balanced out so we can get rid of that anxiety and help you feel better and not have to deal with that stuff every day. So if that sounds like you or somebody that you know, please give us a call or come on into the clinic and give us a chance to see if we can make you feel better. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.